topic that has a lot of parents talking this morning. The CDC releasing new guidelines as to what school might look like come this fall. So we're going to be taking a closer look right now in this morning's Digital Dive. Now, when it comes to going back to school, the CDC guidelines not only focus on the health and well-being of the students and staff, but their parents and families as well. Like what we're seeing with restaurants and businesses, the CDC is recommending to do this in 3 steps or phases. The first, to restrict to children of only essential workers. Following that, expanding to all children with enhanced social distancing measures. And finally, remain open to all children with social distancing in place. Now, there's a lot of information here, but here are some of the main points that stuck out to me most. Teaching proper hygiene and having the proper supplies to do so is huge. Teachers and staff must always wear face masks, while students should if and when they can. Soap, hand sanitizer, paper towels, and no-touch garbage cans should also be on hand. All desks will be 6 feet apart and all forward-facing. Students will also limit what they share to small groups or no groups at all. The CDC is also recommending the schools do away with cafeterias for now, and that students eat their lunch inside of the classroom with individually plated meals. They also want school buses and parents to stagger their drop-off times to limit close contact with parents and caregivers. And the big one here, no field trips, no group events, and no extracurricular activities, which will upset a lot of students here. Now, they also want to screen the students and the staff upon arrival every single day, things like taking their temperature and checking for symptoms of COVID-19. Now, again, these are all just examples given by the CDC. In fact, they have a 60-page document that I read through this morning. There's a lot to go through. If you'd like to read that yourself as well, we do have it posted right now at KARE11.com. And like I said, a lot of parents already chiming in on these recommended guidelines. This person, Jeremy, good morning, saying many schools are already overcrowded, so this isn't plausible. Christina compared these guidelines to sending kids to jail. And Sarah, simply put it, said that she's going to continue to homeschool her kids. All right, thanks for sharing, you guys. But yeah, Gia, it's hard to see these actually in place looking back to when I was a student. Kids aren't going to be socially distancing themselves from each other for sure. It's just too hard.
It's hard. And imagine the teachers having to then try to make sure that they're doing this. I mean, on top of everything else they're doing. Yeah, but 60 pages, that's a lot for districts to go through, but they have the time over the summer, I guess. Alicia, thank you.